Hi, this is Tavis Piatoli, sports dietitian with the company My Sports Dietitian, and this is our section on the marketing of dietary supplements, and also we're going to talk about dietary supplement safety. This is really a key topic for athletes because athletes today are typically looking for the answer in supplements and trying to figure out a way, should they be taking supplements? But in really this section, we'll just talking about marketing of these products and how to determine if a product is third-party tested and if that product is clean. One of the things a supplement company will do is they'll work with a variety of athletes. Maybe it's one athlete, maybe it's multiple athletes, to increase their brand exposure and brand awareness. Here's a picture of Colin Kaepernick with Muscle Farm, and you'll see in the next couple of slides a lot of different companies use different athletes, especially based on the funding they have and the popularity, to really make individuals feel that this is what these athletes are using to enhance performance. When in reality, these individuals are using quality food to enhance their performance and change their physique. It's not the supplement. As you can see here, there's a variety of individuals or organizations that these companies will rely upon for marketing. I mean, in Muscle Farm's case, Tiger Woods was one of their athletes, and they pay a lot of money to have this brand awareness. Some of these athletes might not have the best reputation in sports, but at the same time, these are the type of things companies use to increase their exposure. As you'll see with Cider Sport, with Stephen Curry and the information he uses, or especially with his popularity today with their brand in Muscle Milk, also with Gatorade being the predominant sports drink in the market today, using a lot of high-profile athletes from Serena Williams to Peyton Manning and Bryce Harper and Dwayne Wade, just to name a few. But as you can see, it's a very large market. Just in the energy market alone, 43% of that market, really 82% of that market is two companies, Red Bull and Monster, with a few other companies gaining a little bit of market share. But even if you can get 1% of that market share, you're making millions and millions of dollars because it's a billion-dollar industry. And as you can see on the right, if you look at just sports and energy drinks, it's a $64 billion industry, where about 46 to 47% of that, almost 50% of that industry, is controlled by Pepsi and Coca-Cola, mainly because of their affiliation with Pepsi and Gatorade and Coca-Cola and Powerade. Now a lot of athletes today, especially with the multi-level marketing, with companies that like Advocare, or a lot of the multi-level marketing companies partner with athletes to really promote their brand. Unfortunately, those companies don't do a good job with formulation. We're not going to get into that topic today, but as you can see, I served as the sports dietitian for the New Orleans Saints for 8 years, and this is what you see next to Drew's locker. Drew is an affiliated with Advocare. I don't know if he's still a paid spokesman, but at the same time, this is not the answer when it comes to athletes today. This is not going to solve the problem when it comes to nutrition. If an athlete has a poor diet, taking supplements is not going to fix that and not going to enhance performance. Now, at the same time, are there supplements that do have good science? Absolutely. And we'll talk about which ones of those in our next presentation coming to you after this will be really focusing on that topic. All right, so just real quickly, this is a very buyer beware market. There's $84 billion in total nutrition sales when it comes to supplements in the food industry and in a lot of different products. There's over 50,000 supplements in the market, and they really look at targeting athletes, from making claims of strength, body fat reduction, energy, fat loss, muscle recovery. You look at this picture here, and it's overwhelming when a young individual walks into a store. There's a lot of overwhelming information that's not provided to them, and you look at all these different products, they don't know where to start. And really what concerns me the most is the supplement store staff. We'll get into that in a second, but supplement companies are targeting young athletes, just like beer companies are targeting young individuals. They want the youth to think that these are products that they can take and look a certain way. The youth don't know the science surrounding supplements, so they use a lot of physique and good-looking individuals on the cover of magazines. And really the mentality of that youth is more is better. They think instead of taking one scoop, let's take 4 to 5 scoops, and that's going to help my performance. Why do young athletes take supplements? So this was data that I collected from a survey to looking at over 500 student athletes and really examining why they chose to take. And as you can see, In some cases, I mean, kids chose different topics. They chose multiple areas. Some wanted to improve strength and muscle mass and performance. Some may have just wanted to choose physique. So there's a lot of different reasons why athletes are taken. At the end of the day, most want to get bigger, stronger, and faster. Who is influential? That's one of the questions. Like, who is influencing some of these individuals? And believe it or not, it's not medical professionals. It's parents, it's coaches, and it's teammates, it's friends. Those are your top 4 most influential people when it comes to a young athlete taking a supplement. And you look at coaches, that's kind of scary because most coaches don't understand the supplement industry, the ingredient profile, the science. Some coaches are selling supplements as a means to make extra income, which is unethical. In some states, that's illegal. The National High School Federation actually, recommends that you don't do that because it's a big liability. We've seen kids that have had some side effects, from taking supplements, and sometimes that's due to being pushed by the coach. I just had a mom email me today, actually, with her son who's a soccer player whose coach is pushing supplements, and that's a very risky thing to do. Steroid use in young athletes has grown significantly from 1993 to today, where there's 1 in 16 high school students now use steroids, and this comes from the Taylor Hooten Foundation at taylorhooten.org. There's over 1.5 million teens using anabolic steroids. So when we look at, again, when you walk into a supplement store, you just look at the placement of products. There's certain products that get shelf space, and basically due to color, it looks really, really attractive. So, when a kid walks in, they're gonna really rely on the supplement store staff to get that feedback and to get that education. And is that a reliable person? So, what do we know about the supplement store staff and their knowledge? Well, here's a little bit of information and feedback that I've had and experience in my field as a sports dietitian. I had a 14-year-old client who had 4 catheter ablations to correct what's called supraventricular tachycardia. His heartbeat was about 100 beats a minute at rest. So went in, shocked his heart 4 times, 4 different times, finally got it to beat correctly, and walked into a supplement store after the surgery, told them the issue, but he was struggling with energy, and supplement store staff sold him a weight loss product that had 3 different stimulants, one of those being synephrine, which is prohibited by the NCAA in many professional sports. I had 6 high school athletes last year just were contacted. One of those was my client. 5 of those came from an athletic trainer who told me he found some products in their locker. And it was a pre-workout with the prohibited stimulant synephrine. So a lot of these kids are looking to boost energy, mainly because they're tired, they're not getting good nutrition, they're not sleeping enough, they're underfueled. So the supplement store staff concerns me. The Journal of Pediatrics just posted a new study in January of this year that focused on, what do supplement store staff do, the knowledge of those individuals. But basically the researcher posed as a 15-year-old student athlete, and 10% of those 244 supplement store staff that were called, they called 244 supplement staff. 10% recommended a testosterone booster, 50% recommended creatine. That doesn't mean creatine's bad. We'll talk more about that in the next topic, but it just means that without asking any previous history about diet or anything else, they're already pushing supplements to a minor. Here's just an example. So if you look at under the circle, you'll see bitter orange, which is also synephrine. That's just a code word, or basically the alkaloid or other name for synephrine. Bitter orange, citrus aurantium, a couple of different names on the label. Advantra-Z. Those are 3 different ways to determine if you have that banned substance. And plus, this is a pretty powerful product. It already has 300 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. It has some other stimulants as well. So these are things that are sitting on the shelf of a lot of different places and supplement stores and online. Kids can buy the stuff. And if you're at the collegiate level or the Olympic level, then you don't want to take these products, because if you test positive, you're losing a year of eligibility, probably losing the ability to compete depending on what level you're performing. Same thing here is, basically 1,3-dimethylamylamine was originally in the Jack 3D product. These are products that are illegal. The FDA has basically recommended these companies remove these products from sale. Some companies are still selling them. So these are all banned substances. High school athletes don't get tested, but at the same time, we still don't want them taking these products because of the potential risk of possibly side effects, increased heart rate, irregular heartbeats, potential increase in blood pressure, stroke. So there's a lot of different things we have to be very cautious about. And again, The supplement store staff, they just have very little education. They're not pharmacists. They're not dietitians. They're not athletic trainers. Besides what they're taught maybe from the training program of the manager at the store, maybe there's a book they read. They really don't understand the science that goes into these ingredients. They may look like they do, but at the end of the day, they have no medical or nutrition education. They're not familiar with third-party testing, and they're mainly focused on commissions. So how do we really know if a product that we're taking has been third-party tested? Now, really what this means is, again, it just means the product's tested. It means it's pretty much free of all banned substances. Doesn't mean it's going to work. Doesn't mean the ingredients are the right formula. It just means it's tested. And, there's three groups. NSF is considered the gold standard, and then you got banned substance controlled group, and also informed choice. All these companies do nice jobs testing their products. So NSF for sport, go to their website, nsfsport.com. You click on certified products. You can click on any type of product that you're looking for based on the purpose. And then you can go by, what company. And this is just kind of giving you a screenshot of what that would look like. You can look at all the different products and brands. And as you can see there, the lot next to the name of the product, all the different lots that are tested. Informed choice still has a similar, you go to for athletes and coaches, you click on registered products. You can click on that registered products, and it's going to basically give you a laundry list of companies. As you can see here, these are just some of the companies that are listed. These things change weekly, so it's important to stay on top. This is kind of an older view. Some of these companies may no longer be on here, so you want to make sure. Just because a company is on this list doesn't mean it's a good company. It just means they're spending the money to get their products tested. Number one, that's a great start for a company. That's very respectable because they're spending the money to do this. So as you can see here, this is just another list of, that's much more. There's a lot more to this than just this page. There's a lot more pages added, but this will kind of give you some idea of what that looks like and what products are. And then finally, the Banned Substance Control Group. You can go to their site that says Certified Drug-Free Clients, click on the database, and then we'll give you a list of those companies that are testing their product. Finally is Aegis Shield, to where this is typically a toxicology company that have done a lot of forensic toxicology testing and drug testing with schools. Really a good, excellent anti-doping lab, been around a long time. And what they have is a cool app that really scans barcodes. And it just kind of gives you an idea. It doesn't mean the product is third-party tested. It just means that you may want to be cautious, especially if you get a yellow or a red. This means it may be prohibited. And if it's red, it means it is prohibited. And if it's green, it means it probably does not have a banned substance. At the same time, you still want to go back and make sure that product is NSF certified. So if you don't get an NSF certified product, regardless if you use the shield, you still are taking a risk, especially if you're an athlete that's tested. You can go to their site and download their app. It's in the Android store, the App Store, the Apple Store. Great app to use. I don't know. It might be free. It might be very cheap. But it's a great resource, and as you can see there, it kind of gives you the okay, or it gives you a different color depending on the results. This is just to kind of show you guys what to look for. Some companies put the logo on their product. Some companies don't put it. I think NSF requires it to where it has to be on the product. So like a Clean Athlete Multi, you'll see the NSF logo. That means it's NSF for Sport certified. Twin Lab pays both labs. They pay NSF and they pay Informed Choice to get certified. And then, of course, the Herbalife product is Banned Substance Control Group tested. Again, I would recommend the Clean Multi. I think they do a nice job. I wouldn't recommend either of the other two products just because I think they're poorly formulated. That's a whole nother topic. So third-party certification just ensures athletes can take a product and feel safe from testing positive from the banned substances. They don't provide a 100% guarantee, as there's always a risk. And again, as I mentioned, it doesn't mean the product is well formulated. The disadvantages for some companies, it's cost prohibitive. That's why we don't see all companies do this. All right, so make sure, again, pick up Clint's ebook if you haven't already. I know a lot of people have picked this up since watching our series, www.mywrestlingnutrition.com or www.mysportsdconnect.com. Either one of those, if you go to MySportsDConnect, you just click on ebooks and you will find that along with a lot of other ebooks available depending on if you have other sports or kids and athletes in those sports. Be sure you click below, download the actual, we have a handout for you on supplement safety. You can put that in your locker, closet, give it to your or give it to your student athletes, pin it up somewhere in the office to where you have access to understand and remind yourself, a lot of the information we kind of went over tonight or today. So if you have any questions, anytime, email me, tpiatoli@mysportsd.com. And thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next topic on supplements for wrestling.